Goldberg.
You know, listen, this is a terrific company. It's a great product. They've created an amazing half and half, which is what I asked for. And it is delicious. And when people do what they say they're going to do, it's great. These are black-owned businesses. Black-owned businesses and female-run. So for every woman in this room, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Doesn't matter what color you are right now. If you're a woman, take a look and see what these women have accomplished. This is how you do it.
FAYE, because of you we can. So thank you. It's FAYE, it's an honor to be sitting back with you here again for part 2 here at the Whoopie Pure Genesis Whoopie launch at
Cannabis Means Business?
At the Cannabis Means Business Festival here at the Jacob Javits Center. Since we've last spoken, Pure Genesis has gone through another metamorphosis. It's so great to see this product and actually hold it and touch it. I got to taste it today.
Did you love it?
I loved it.
Thank you.
And I loved it. I'm really looking forward to tasting that caramel candy apple one.
Yes.
That looks like, I think it's in like high demand. I can't get it anywhere. But I really love the Whoopie idea of it being a half tea, half lemonade. Because who doesn't love that?
Who doesn't? Everybody loves the Arnold Palmer, right?
Exactly.
And of course, we wanted to introduce it coming into the summer because it's a great drink, right? You can drink it anytime, anywhere, any time of day.
Yeah.
And because it's half tea, half lemonade, and it's a tea-forward type product, and with it being hemp-derived with 10 milligrams of THC in it, it's something that is, yes, it can keep, it's nice and light, but it'll make you feel light as well.
Right. So I want to know specifically, how did Whoopie's interest in cannabis help and your interest in cannabis health? Because I know that there's an interest based on the foundation and the genesis of Pure Genesis itself, going back to your mother. How did your two interests in cannabis health align to make this product?
Well, you're right. You know, I tell everybody the story about how my mom suffered with breast cancer, how she lost 70 pounds, skin turned coal black, her mental acuity greatly diminished. And had she been able to consume cannabis, she would have had a healthier appetite and recovered more successfully through her chemo and radiation. And since then, I've always thought about cannabis as an alternative medicine, especially through my own cancer battle. Now, as you look at Whoopie is very inspired, very focused on women, right? And she's also focused on women's health. So that's really where our purposes align, right? It's all about bringing good products that are good for you.
You know, in our community, we have a lot of traditions that date back to a long time. I can still hear my grandmother saying, if you're feeling sick, go and get some ginger ale. If you're feeling some kind of way, and my feeling always growing up, we weren't, in my household, we weren't coffee people, we were tea people growing up. Always believed that tea would extend your life, extend your health. So I want to know specifically, why did you guys decide on tea being the product that you guys would collaborate with?
You know, tea always has medicinal aspects. The tea leaf itself has medicinal aspects. You know, combine it with THC, absolutely a powerful impact, right? So, well, duh, but at the same time, we wanted something that tastes great. Most people love a leaf, you know, in terms of a tea leaf. and then they either love a bean like a coffee. For us, it really was more about the tea forward, the health benefits of it, the aspects of it, and combining that with the THC made it just all the better.
Can you talk about Pure Genesis? Since the last time we spoke, like I said, you've gone through a metamorphosis. Can you talk about Pure Genesis, the product expansion, and also what stores are you currently located in?
So last time we spoke, we were focused primarily on our dispensary in Atlantic City, which is still in progress. That's a different story, but it is still in progress. Right now, we decided to shift our gears. We have been testing products for like the last couple of years. We started out in a bottle. We started out combining THC specifically, or CBD, with wine. We looked at a number of different things that, oh yes, it's on the shelf waiting. It's waiting for the opportunity to be released.
Ain't that?
Yes.
I'm 30 plus now. I'm with the wine.
But what we did know for sure is that we had something great. So we continued to work on our formulation. We scaled back from the alcohol. And then what we did was we focused in on what were the customers going to really like? What would patients really like? What did the flavor profiles need to be like? How did we want to focus in on from one spectrum, which are pina colada, which is our euphoria, which is lightly carbonated, somewhat sweet, all the way to our mellow mule, which we will eventually launch, which is like a Merlot and a ginger mule. And then you've got the whoop tea in between, as well as the signature or the caramel candy apple. So for us, it was about making certain we had something for everyone that you can enjoy, but also you could have benefit from. So that's why we focused in on the beverages.
And how did you choose these flavors? The flavors are exquisite. Pina colada, caramel candy apple, half tea, half lemonade, and mellow mule.
Yes.
So from, it starts at euphoria to signature to whoop tea to elite.
Yes.
How did you guys come up with these flavors?
In the kitchen.
How did you ladies come up with these flavors?
Oh, that's all right, guys, ladies. We're good. But we came up with them in the kitchen. But really, we thought about it in terms of making certain we had something for everyone, right? And we looked at it demographically. We said, okay, what would the Zs want? What would the millennials want? What would the X and the boomers are kind of floating around there together want? And we wanted to make certain that we could answer that question successfully, right? The demographic was there. That was one thing. The other piece was we wanted to understand, where are people consuming? And that's how they're consuming socially. Like, where is that happening? That's happening, of course, every day as girlfriends come together, guys come together. They may have a cigar and they may have an elite, right? Girlfriends come together and they might have a whoop tea, and socialize and just have a good time. So really it was about having a great experience for everyone. And that's why we call it the future of happy hour.
I love that. What is going on in the Pure Genesis marketing office? Genius, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
How are you guys how are you making sure that whoop tea is getting to whoop tea and these other 4 drinks and these other 3 drinks are getting not just to more shelves, but to the right shelves?
I think that's a great question. We've been very focused on meeting our customers, our B2B customers face to face, right? We've been going in, introducing ourselves into the retailers, into the CBD stores, the smoke shops, everywhere, to the total wine leaders. All of those, because it does matter. We want to make certain that not only do we know we're providing a good beverage, but we want to make sure that they can provide it in the right manner. Right? Not selling to, what does that mean? Not selling to kids who are under 21, misrepresenting the product. Those things can happen. That's not our goal.
I was just in Total Wine the other day. I would go up if I walked into Total Wine and see Pure Genesis, but I know it won't be long.
Thank you.
Yes. What are some of the hurdles that you face while trying to distribute a hemp-derived THC product across state lines?
Well, the state lines have not really been an issue. It's basically regulations by state. Because although hemp derived is legal federally everywhere, in terms of who can actually sell it is the question. That's a regulatory question. So that's something we've been very cognizant of and focused on to make sure, one, we protect our B2B customers, right? And two, as we look at each market, which are actually of benefit to us.
So since we last spoke, have you seen, and this is a twofold question, I'll get to the second part, but since we last spoke, have you seen any changes in investors' appetites or banks making exceptions in the governance, in their governance to be more supportive and collaborative within the cannabis industry?
I think that's a two-part question. I think one, within the cannabis industry, more supportive. Probably not at this particular point. I think the current administration has left some question marks in terms of the direction of cannabis and what we'll see in the coming years. And I think with that, it makes investors and bankers, certainly some of the state-specific banks, a little more nervous, right? And as you have that type of nervousness, two things happen. One, investors ask for more, banks' interest rates go up, and none of that is good for the business, right? So there's been a challenge, I believe, some with regard to that. Then you talk about black businesses, right? We get 2% of the capital that's out there today. So with that, in terms of now, I'm sure it's even dropped even further. So really, as we look to launch a successful business, a lot of times many companies have to scale down because they're not given the opportunity to have some of the funding that some of their peers may receive, even though they're qualified or just as qualified.
We've seen brands over the last couple of years really start to leverage certain relationships, specifically like grow facilities. We might see grow facilities that might leverage other facilities to be able to do their growing without having to build a whole new facility. Or sometimes we see partnerships in general that can just circumvent certain restrictions. Have you seen any growth in cannabis brand models when it comes to partnerships that you'd like to make people aware of?
I would say all those types of partnerships are going on. You know, I think a lot of folks are focusing on co-ops right now, cooperatives, so that they can actually buy together in bulk, right? Drive the price down so they have a better chance to succeed against some of the larger companies that are out there. So I think that's either happening on the surface or maybe under the surface, but certainly it's something that people expect and are actually doing. I think people are looking at ways to come in and join forces to get funding. I think there's some of those opportunities around that. And certainly the ones that you mentioned earlier, of course, they're continuing to do that. Even with the equity that folks are looking to buy into various businesses where they can, they're doing that also. And what I mean by that is you may know someone who has funding, but you may introduce them to several of your peers who all need funding. So now that individual can get a piece of equity for each of those businesses and in fact help each of those businesses get up and operating.
Are you seeing any difference in how products are being tested? You know, the companies have been getting recalled and fined for failing tests. Do you see any regulation around cannabis testing becoming stricter in the future?
I don't think the question is, will testing get more strict? I think the question is, are we executing the testing in the manner intended to make sure that we are compliant? And what I mean by that is there are various companies who absolutely all they do is source labs that give credible testing, which is important. And those who care about making certain they got great product and providing the healthiest product, they're the ones who are winning and they're adding value at the right levels. Then there are those who may be a little scared that their product may swing too much. There's too much variation. They may lose too much product and ultimately may go out of business. So there's a fear in there. And then of course there are some of those who just, want to bypass some of the compliance requirements, and they source against maybe someone who may test a little more liberally. Those things do exist. And until all labs are under government regulation, that'll never change, regardless of how many restrictions are placed on the regulatory requirements in the business. My opinion.
So Whoop tea is supposed to be giving me at least 10 milligrams of cannabinoids.
That's right.
How can I tell? How would I be able to tell that that's what I'm getting?
You can actually click on this QR code right here. You scan that, and you'll have a link tree that'll come up. It'll give you all sorts of fun things like the Instagram, a website. But most important would be our certificate of analysis, and it's in there by date code. So if you look on the bottom, you can see the date code, and it will correspond to the COA, and then you can actually understand how many milligrams are in each can.
Link tree on the can, y'all. Step it up.
Faye, last question. What is next? What's next with your Genesis?
Well, that's a great question. Right now, we are looking forward to getting our dispensary up and open in Atlantic City across from the Hard Rock. So we're super excited about that. We will continue to educate as requested with our Now You Know workshop. And we're looking to expand. So we've got 2 flavors launched within the Genesis family. Next will be caramel candy apple. So you'll get a chance to taste that sometime over the summer. And we're making certain that we not only expand our flavor profile, but we're looking to expand across the country. Right now we have our feet on the ground, primarily within the Northeast, New Jersey, New York, PA, Delaware, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. But we are looking to do our D2C, and that will be in the next 2 weeks. You'll be able to order online anywhere in the country. So we're pretty excited about it.
Well, Faye, immediately coming up next is your launch party tomorrow. We're so excited to meet you again and see you there and celebrate you. And, once again, it's always an honor. And just thank you for letting us be here. Let us talk to you one time. Love to celebrate you.
Well, thank you so much. The honor is certainly mine. I first want to just thank my business partner, Priscilla. I would not be where we are today. Our companies would not be there. I want to thank my family. They stick by me all the time. My daughter's here today, Jade. Yes, that's my daughter. She's here today. And she brought her girlfriend, Chelsea. They grew up together, and they're just like thick as thieves. So I could not ask for a better team. I've got other team here. My business partner, she brought her daughter, Jasmine. And it just shows that we're a family here, and it is about a family. If you want to create generational health and wealth, they need to be a part of the process. And certainly this is them being a part of the process, seeing how the sausage is made, right? Because a lot of times we just don't train our kids and how business works. The highs and the lows, the ins and the outs, the intricacies of it, the operational aspects of it, and the fun. We're headed to the yacht party today. If we don't get to the yacht party, there'll be some heck to pay. But we're going to do the yacht party. Like you said, we're going to have our launch party tomorrow. We're super excited. But all things through God. Okay? My faith keeps my purpose strong and focused. And I thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Woo. Thank you. Thank you. Love you.
Oh, love you, babe. Hopefully it went okay.